All right, everybody, let it settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And have your feet flat on the floor, about a hips width apart, and align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is a beautiful string of pearls of light, stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine you're lengthening your spine. And then go to the crown of the head and just relax your scalp and your forehead and your eyebrows, your eyelashes, your eyes, the back of the eye, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. Relax your jaw, the ears, the inner ear, the back of the head. And just allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And notice the sensation of the breath as you inhale and exhale. And then be aware of any distractions in your environment. So it could be sounds, could be notifications on your computer, could be people in your home, pets, walking across your keyboard, just, anything that's not what we're doing right now. And so just allow all the distractions, all the sounds to be there. Try not to follow with the mind. And just notice the point at which you are getting distracted. And then be aware of what's actually in your mind. So just allowing the thoughts to rise up, to bubble up, and to disperse. So trying not to follow any storyline. And then bring to mind all the people of our life, our loved ones, our strangers, the ones we don't like, and just imagine that they're just like you and me. Every single one of them, no matter how you feel about anyone at any particular time, they're all equal. They want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So think about all the people you've spent today with and just think we'll do this meditation for them, for those of you who have family members or friends. You attended some kind of event and they may not have been practicing the same way that we practice. And also, big shout out here for Lou, to congratulations to going home tomorrow. That's fantastic. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it and create positivity instead. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so, having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And then also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then we think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. This is our little section on compassion. The very beings we have harmed, those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently, and then in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. So just have a strong wish for them to be free from suffering. And then remember those who've harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result a suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we use this chanting, the mantra, and then also visualization. So we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm we've ever done to any living being with the body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mebeyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hom ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Ambhadrasapta samaya manupalaya vajrasapta dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hom ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Ambhadrasapta samaya manupalaya vajrasapta dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya seta a hompe. Ambhadrasapta samaya manupalaya, vajrasapta dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sabosidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya seta a humpe. Ambhadrasapta samaya manupal Vajrasapta dina patita, Dida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya seta a humpe. Ambhadrasapta samaya manupalaya, sapta dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva hum. Okay. So be delighted that any harm you've done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorecta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka A Hompe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame matsa vajrabawa mahasamaya seka a humpe. Vajrasapta samaya manupalaya, vajrasapta dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame matsa vajrabawa mahasamaya seta a hompe. Vajrasapta samaya manupalaya, vajrasapta dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorecta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya seta a hompe. Vajrasapta samaya manupalaya, vajrasapta dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta me boa sawa sidi me piyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Saka Ah Hum Pe Ambhadra Sapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Saka Ah Hum Pe Ambhadra Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ah Hum. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. The next is a purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's like when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch, the light instantly comes. So you imagine the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, anger, depression, resentment, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Saka Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata Ah Hum. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So you imagine nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativity of the body. And then the nectar flows up again, pushing out all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and blasts all of the delusions in the mind. So this is happening all at the same time, also at the same time as you reciting the mantra. And then imagine it at this, because of all of this activity, it eradicates even the subtlest imprints from your consciousness of negative energy. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Juda meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajra mame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sakta a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajra mame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajra mame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Juda meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Seta A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sata A Hum. Eh. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And the fourth step in this purification process is resolve. So it's really crucial because we have to make a decision to do something before it's going to happen. So you just decide, I don't want to harm. And this aspiration becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. It's like guardrails. So rejoice in your efforts for coming along tonight, this morning, today, wherever you are. And then, then think of something you'd like to work with. Body, speech, mind, something. And keep it really simple, keep it short. Don't spend too much time thinking about it. And then also try and recognize, where that action came from. So we're really kind of diving in to do a little bit of internal work here. So imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light, and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Lama Zopa Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So he would say, in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation. That's how they say it. They like to say it. With a largeness, vastness, and profundity, with meaning great, achieving beings' aims, just this comprises every Buddha's sphere. Just this is taught by all awakened ones. Oh, up to the beginning. This concludes the supreme chanting of the names of the Blessed One, Manjushri, the wisdom deity. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's go back, do 2 more verses of the beginning. You go back to chapter 1. One second, she's saying.
Yes, I apologize. It's
No
acting
worries.
silly.
No. It's okay. Can you go back to the title? Chanting the noble names of noble Manjushri from the words of the Buddha. In Indian language, Arya Manjushri Nama Sangiti. In Tibetan, Pagpa Jampal Gisen Yang Dag Par Jopa. In English, chanting the names of the noble Manjushri. Homage to ever youthful Manjushri, the request. Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, supreme subduer of the hard to tame, the hero conquering the triple world, the Vajra lord and master of all secrets. With eyes wide open like white lotuses, his face just like a lily in full bloom, while shaking in his hand repeatedly a Vajra of the highest excellence. Okay, that's our 3 verses. Good night, everyone. Let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, and for swift, discovery and reintegration of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, a new person, and then for all of your own individual teachers.